Hey guys, very good morning. Today we are going to discuss about Elijah. Meaning of name Elijah is Ave is God. Ancestry and family life of Elijah. Elijah was a Tishbite from Gilad. He was a Benjamite, son of Jeroham. When we look at 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 27, we can see this. He was a Benjamite and son of Jeroham. The tribe of Benjamin produced several heroes and mighty warriors. Exactly, wonderful. The tribe of Benjamin produced several heroes and mighty warriors. When and where he lived. Elijah lived during the 9th century BC. The northern kingdom of Israel had already split off from Judah for a long time. It had become apostate. The people primarily worshipped Baal, partially because of the influence of Jezebel. Therefore, Elijah, whose name means Ave is God or the Lord is my God, would have stood out from the crowd and faced danger of persecution and death. Training and occupation. No specific training is mentioned. However, from his habits, it appears that Elijah was an outdoors type. He had strange dress and appearance. When you look at 2 Kings in chapter 1 verse 8, and was fleet of foot. 1 King chapter 18 verse 46, had a rugged constitution that resisted famine. When you look at 1 King chapter 19 verse 8, and dwelt in caves. 1 King chapter 17 verse 3. This suited him for his role as a full-time prophet and servant of the Lord. He was able to move from place to place easily. Since he was a full-time prophet, servant of God, God used other means to take care of his needs. Place in history. Elijah was one of the most important and most respected prophet in Israel's history. God used him to bring about a revival in the northern kingdom. God accomplished a number of miracles through Elijah. He was one of the most significant figures in Israel's history, along with Abraham, Moses and David. He was going to come to earth again before the Messiah, John the Baptist, and he appeared along with Moses at the Transfiguration. Special traits. See training and occupation. He was a hairy man, a rugged outdoor type. Elijah had super speed. He ran 17 miles from Camel to Jezreel faster than Ahab's chariot. When you look at 1 King chapter 18 verse 46. Weaknesses. What are the weaknesses Elijah has? First one is fear. 1 King chapter 19. Right after God brought about a great miracle and answered Elijah's prayer on Mount Carmel, Elijah grew afraid of Jezebel and ran away. This demonstrated a lack of faith in God and his protection. The second one is inconsistent and prone to ups and downs. Elijah was a human. He experienced highs and lows in his walk with God. Sometimes he had an emotional high and then depression would follow. How can we avoid this pattern? The third one is pride. Did Elijah show pride in 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 10 and 14? Refer those. And strengths. What are the strengths? Elijah was a dedicated servant of the Lord in a time when it was very dangerous to even believe in or worship the true God. There are many strengths in his life that we can learn from. The first one is faith. When you look at 1 King chapter 17 verse 1, there were several times in his life when Elijah demonstrated great faith in God. He confronted Ahab at the very beginning of the account, and God used him to bring a drought onto the land. Soon after that, he pleaded with God to raise up the dead boy, and God listened to him. The New Testament says that if we have a faith, we can move mountains, and Elijah is an example of someone who demonstrated this kind of faith. Another example is his challenge to the prophets of Baal. He put his life on the line, having faith in God would answer his prayer and show himself to his people. Describe a situation where you can make a stand for God in the world today. The second one is obedience. On several occasions, God gave Elijah very difficult commands. He told him to go to a river and wait there, and the ravens would provide for him. Elijah did it. God told him to go and let a poor widow provide for him. Elijah did it. God told him to go confront Ahab, the king who hated him and wanted to kill him. Elijah did it. Courage. Third one is courage. On numerous occasions, Elijah showed great courage by risking his life in order to make a stand for God in front of the people or in front of Ahab, hoping to encourage them to choose to serve God rather than Baal. The fourth one is selfless. What was Elijah's motivation for the major event in his life? When you look at 1 King chapter 18 verse 37, we can understand. Important acts and events. Bringing the drought to Israel, 1 King chapter 17, when you read. The challenge to the prophet of Baal, 1 King chapter 18. And confronting Ahab about the vineyard, 1 King chapter 2. Translation of Elijah, 2 King chapter 2. We can see the important acts and events in these chapters. How he died. Elijah is one of only two humans. Enoch was the other, the never died. 2 King chapter 2. God had a special plan for him and took him directly up to heaven in a whirlwind. Because of other scriptures and the fact that all humans die, most believe Elijah either did or will come to earth again, serving a special capacity and then face death. Hebrew chapter 9 verse 27. What kind of things we can learn from his life? What are the lessons we can learn from his life? The first one is pleading with God in prayer can accomplish much. What are some other examples where Elijah prayed for miracles and God listened? Second one, people worship many idols in this world even though these idols cannot answer prayer or provide protection. Why? Many possible reasons. They are deceived, their hearts are hard, some counterfeit miracles are performed by Satan and his demons, or maybe they do so in willful disobedience to God because they don't want to be accountable to him for their sins. How should we seek to minister to this type of people? The lesson from Elijah's life is that whatever the method we do confront false beliefs and religious and seek to bring people to worship of the true God. Third one. Though the world may grow very evil and corrupt, God preserves a remnant of true believers who serve him faithfully. The fourth one is the true God is not vengeful and doesn't desire self-mutilation in our worship of him as do many false religions in the world. What does he desire? A sincere heart to worship in spirit and truth. Fifth one, God makes us strong even though our weaknesses. After the incident on Mount Carmel, Elijah was afraid and tired running for his life from Jezebel. At the time when he needed it most, God provided divine sustenance for Elijah. Sixth one is we should always be alert even when our Christian life is going along smoothly. Our flesh is weak and can fail at any time. Therefore, we need to always be humble and look to God. We need to be steady and disciplined and Be careful to avoid the low valleys of depression in Christian life. So these are the things what we have learned about Elijah today. God bless you.